Play. We here with JG, myself, OG/JB. Got Brian, we got Christian CT, and we got Nate and Caleb behind the scenes. Not behind the scenes, but off camera right now.
Producer, man.
Behind the camera, yeah.
But welcome back. Today we're gonna talk about a few things, not too much. We're gonna talk mainly about NFL Super Bowl predictions, and maybe have enough time. We might talk about Kyrie, but that might come in another episode too. I guess we'll start it off. Brian can lead us off with the Super Bowl predictions, what you have in store for next Sunday or 2 Sundays from now.
It's this Sunday coming up. This Sunday coming up.
Because it's 12th of February.
That sounds good. Also, let y'all know we are watching LeBron about to make history. You know, some people believe it, some people don't. But you might get a little bit of that too.
I don't know. What's looking at threes? It might be over.
Won't make the record tonight.
Yeah,
He can catch up.
he can catch up tonight. But you want me to go first?
Yeah,
Sure. What'd you say? We have the best teams in both conferences. First time I think this happened in a few years since maybe I want to say
I think the Colts and either the Colts and the Saints or the Broncos.
the Broncos and the Seahawks the last time this happened. Or were the Broncos the first seed they made it that year as the Panthers?
I'm not sure.
They were. Then that might have been the last time. You're right.
Oh yeah.
It's funny. Back up, Brian.
What'd you say, CT?
Who was the first seed in the AFC the last time they was that the Patriots? What was that, 2018?
The last time who made it?
The Patriots. The Eagles made the Super Bowl.
They was the first.
Was the Patriots the first seed? Eagles was first seed. They were. Patriots, I don't think they were. I check. Give me a second.
I'm trying to think.
I check. Go ahead.
Wasn't that? No, that wasn't that year, wasn't it? I was about to say, wasn't the year they lost? They beat the Chiefs? No, that was like a year before. Yeah, mine's on. I mean, if mine wasn't on, he wouldn't be able to hear me, right?
I mean, that's true.
Alright, just making sure. Either way, the best two teams that been pretty consistent the whole season got through their schedule pretty easily. Even though both their schedules were kind of easy compared to the rest of the league, they did what they had to do, beat all the teams they had to do in the playoffs. Eagles didn't even make it really look that close versus 49ers once Hassan Reddick got Brock Purdy out the game. They had a tight end blocking Hassan Reddick. Hassan Reddick cooked them, and then Brock Purdy basically cooked his shoulder. Now I think his arm too. I think he got
Yeah, it was his elbow.
Yeah, I think they're trying to say he needs Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, they just said he tore his UCL.
Yeah,
That's pretty bad, though.
It's pretty bad.
That's pretty atrocious.
He said he might not be back for 6 to 9 months. So we'll talk about more in the offseason about what the 49ers going to have to do. But yeah, so the Eagles pretty much walked through that game once Brock Purdy got hurt. And he had Chris McCaffrey running Wildcat, and it got ugly over there. But then the Chiefs and the Broncos pretty much came down to the wire. One of the last plays of the games, a young defense player for the for the Bengals. What was his name? That pushed Mahomes out of bounds late.
Joseph Ossai.
Yeah. He pushed him late. I understand. He had a lot of momentum. He was just trying to make a play. But at that point, you got to know, as star quarterback of Mahomes, you can't be pushing him out of bounds that late. So that basically put the Chiefs in field goal range and sealed the game. A lot of players wasn't mad at that, but I feel like the Bengals had a lot more chances early in the game to win, and they didn't really, do what they had to do throughout the whole game. So it can't be just based all on that one play. But to summarize, you have a really, really good game, especially between, I believe, two good quarterbacks, one that's paid Mahomes and one that's Jalen Hurts, who's going to get paid real soon. And saying he's probably going to get a $50 million per year contract coming up. So overall, it's a good game. My prediction, I'm probably going to go with the Eagles. I just believe that defensively they're better than what the Chiefs had. The Chiefs kind of just make stuff happen, but I don't think that's going to work versus this team, versus the Eagles. I believe they're going to run the ball a lot and just make things a little difficult for. It's going to depend a lot on Chris Jones and make him single-handedly stop the whole game plan that the Eagles have.
Yeah, the last time it happened, the number one seeds were the Super Bowl 50 with Broncos, Carolina.
Okay, that's what
49 Patriots and Seahawks.
Oh, they were one seed.
52 with the Eagles and Patriots, yeah.
Okay.
And 48 the Seahawks and Broncos. So 3 years in a row. 48, 49, and 50.
Okay.
That's the number one seeds.
So who's your MVP, JG?
Yeah. I want to say, because I'm picking the Eagles, I'm thinking it's going to be Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Hurts or AJ Brown. But you made a good point, JB. It could be Miles Sanders. I can see that possible if he gets maybe like 100, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns, because they just run the ball a lot and just effectively using the clock, driving down the field, getting long drives. which the Eagles have done all season, it's a good chance that Miles Sanders could have really good stats, and he might get MVP off that. Because if you look at Jalen Hurts' stats recently, he's been playing well because he hasn't really had to do much. So if they continue like that again, I don't think his stats will be good enough to get MVP.
Yeah, the last few games, I think a couple games, Jalen Hurts played. He went through like 240 something yards, I think.
Yeah, ever
total.
Since he came back from injury.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what the Chiefs has the second best pass rush in the league. I don't know. So I don't know how it would be for him. But also, the Eagles are very dangerous.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only thing
dynamic.
I think. My bad. Caleb, to
No,
cut
you're
you
good.
off. I was gonna say the only thing about those two games were they were able to run the ball effectively the whole game, but they also had like really huge leads. So Jalen didn't really need to do too much in this game. But I think he's gonna have to do a whole lot in this game against the Chiefs. So if I were to pick the Eagles, I think Jalen would have to be the MVP because I think he's gonna have to throw a lot more than he did in previous games because it's not gonna be like I don't think it's gonna be 38-7 like the other two like the Giants game, and then of course I don't think I'm praying that Patrick Mahomes isn't gonna get hurt like Brock Purdy did like two series into the game. So.
Yeah, I meant to say my score prediction. I'm thinking 31-24, 31-21, that type of score Eagles way. I believe I understand that the Chiefs had the second best pass rush, but I don't believe they went against an O-line like the Eagles, who's probably the best O-line in the league by far. And, it's easy for Chris Jones to cook the Bengals and who the Chiefs played before, and the Jaguars O-line when they both have kind of like just one good player. I believe the Eagles have like, in my opinion, at least two Hall of Fame talent. They do have two Hall of Fame talent, Lane Johnson and Jason Kelce, and three other good starters. So it's going to be a lot more difficult for him to dominate the game like he did last week. So, and then once it gets past Chris Jones, it's a lot dependent on Nick Bolton and Justin Reed, and I don't know.
Justin Watson.
I don't know. They've been decent, but I don't know if that's going to be enough to stop Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, Dallas Goedert, and Miles Sanders if he gets to the second level.
CT, I was gonna say CT.
Oh, go ahead, CT. My bad.
The great one made it to the game. So I really hope for it. Me and Caleb were the only ones to predict the Super Bowl matchup correctly last week. I'm just glad to see my goal in the Super Bowl. So I'm rooting for the Chiefs. And I think the Chiefs do pull this out. And the reason I say this is because Eagles have this amazing pass rush. This is the pass rush we haven't seen probably in years of led the league in sacks during the regular season. But we've seen the Chiefs team struggle against dominant pass rush in the previous Super Bowl that they appeared in against the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers were just getting after Patrick Mahomes, and it wasn't looking good for the Chiefs in that Super Bowl. I'm trusting Andy Reid, who is arguably the greatest offensive coach of all time, to figure out ways to alter that game plan that didn't work against the Buccaneers. Figure out ways to use that Eagles pass rush against them. I think the Chiefs will probably have to outscore the Eagles offense because I don't really see the Chiefs getting as many stops that may be needed. But as we saw last week, the Chiefs defense did step up when they needed. They knew they had an injured quarterback who wasn't 100%. So the offense wasn't going to be 100%. But Mahomes coming in, he should be a little bit closer to 100%. I think the Chiefs come away with it. I want to say 41-35.
God,
who's your MVP?
God damn.
I mean, I'm sure we know.
You know who my MVP is.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me go with Cool Creek.
Yeah. Look. Go ahead, Caleb.
So I know I'm not on camera right now. However, though, actually I can get on camera right now. I'm sorry. I do it.
That's right.
Producer Cam.
However, though, what's it called? I think the only way I think the Chiefs we can't pull this game out is if they kind of I don't think be able to slow down the Eagles' run game at all. That's the scary thing about this. But however, though, I think the Chiefs they'll be able to give. I think the biggest matchup, in my opinion, is Eagles defensive backs against Patrick Mahomes and receivers.
Yeah. Do we know if like Juju and the other guys that went out are going to be?
I know McCole Hardman's on IR.
I think everybody's healthy other than McCole Hardman.
Yeah, McCole Hardman's on IR. CEH came back. I don't know how much that means. I really don't think that means shit.
Yeah,
but,
McKinnon basically probably took that
who's
to
back?
CH.
but
If he gets more than
Everson,
3 carries, I'll be shocked.
he's not. However, though, I think the Chiefs, Pat Mahomes, got to get the ball out of his hand fast in this game. However, I do think most of the sacks that the Eagles did get this season was really cover sacks. Don't get me wrong, they got to the quarterback in a timely way, but I know that a lot of the time, though, it was just good coverage by Eagles DBs.
Yeah.
But I think Pat Mahomes is that good that even if the pass rush gets to him, he can ad-lib. I think that's what he's known for, ad-libbing and doing his thing his own way. But at the same time, he do get the ball out quick. I think that's the only reason they can do that, and they are one of the best teams when it comes to short passing. They're getting the ball out, and they finish seeing towards that. But however, I don't think it's going to be as high scoring that CT thinks it is. I think defense really is going to play a big part in this game in general. Especially, I would love to see the matchup between Chris Jones and Jason Kelsey.
Yeah, sure.
And also, I forgot who alluded. I think it was JG that alluded to the Tampa Bay Chiefs Super Bowl. It's a whole different O-line, pretty much. You got Orlando Brown's tackle now. You got Creed Humphrey. Was Joe Thuney on the team?
Yeah, I believe Joe Tooney is on the team.
I'm talking about what's he on the team with that?
Oh no, he wasn't on that team.
Exactly.
He was still with the Patriots.
So it's a different O-line.
Yeah.
I think the O-line is just essentially better. Even though Eagles pass rush is just one of the best in NFL history. But I do got Chiefs pulling this out 27-21 or like 27-23 in that range.
Okay.
I think MVP, I think it has to be Patrick Mahomes. But I won't be surprised if the Eagles win it. It would have to be a defensive player. It would have to be like a pass rusher. So either Son Reddick, Brandon Graham. I don't think Brandon Graham win it, but Son Reddick or Fletcher Cox could get it. But I do got Pat Mahomes winning the MVP as the Chiefs win the Super Bowl.
You said 27-21?
Do 27-23. 23, 27-20. Actually, I lied because Philly could score touchdowns. I do 27-24.
Okay.
27-24 makes sense.
All right, go ahead, JP.
Oh, nah, you should go before me and Nate, man.
Are you sure?
I'm dead ass.
You going, Nate?
Before y'all figure that out.
No, you don't have to go yet.
Quick note. I was thinking about what you said. That matchup, yeah, the Chiefs O-line is better, but the receiving core is obviously worse. You don't have no Tyreek.
Yeah,
no
but now you have scrubs at receivers. Though. That's
don't
the
have
thing.
scrubs.
They're decent to good
But
receivers.
I don't know how they're going to look versus Darius Slay.
And James
I understand that, but I think that's more.
And then
But I think when it comes to getting the ball out faster, I mean, yes, that matters, but I don't think it's as much as practice people think it is. Personally,
I think the Chiefs have shifted away from this attacking the outside this season. They've really focused on inside the numbers, and like you said, they thrive in the short passing game. Travis Kelce should eat this game. Juju should eat this game if he's working from the slot. The outside receivers, they're there for any potential shots down the field that you do want to take. But the Chiefs, in this specific game, especially with those two all-pro level corners on the outside, they'd be really smart to attack the middle of the Eagles defense, which a great defense. And this isn't a weak defense compared to a weak component of the defense compared to other defenses, but you could argue that the middle of the Eagles defense is probably the weakest point that you can attack.
Yeah.
The linebacker unit isn't as strong in comparison. So that matchup with Travis Kelce against whoever they put on him, Juju with whoever they put
they
on
probably
him.
put
Kayvon Wallace? Or
no, what's his name is back? Normal slot corner.
Oh, Gardner Johnson?
No, that's Garner
Maddox?
Johnson. Garner Johnson might check Kelsey a little bit, but no, I'm thinking of.
No, Maddox is hurt, right?
Y'all think they're gonna try?
He's back.
Oh, Maddox, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
I think it's gonna be hard for the Eagles to take Travis Kelce out the game. I feel like it's
Yeah. I think it's gonna be
gonna be
hard
hard.
because it's hard for them to do. I think the only team that's been able to do it effectively is Cincinnati. I don't know how they've been able to do it, but I'm
Cincinnati got some fast linebackers. Right?
Yeah, I'm sure with 2 weeks of tape though, I'm sure Jonathan Gannon will have a game plan for stopping Travis, but
He'll be a lot of doubling.
but I think it's gonna be like how Brady was with Gronkowski, where like at certain points in the game, Patrick's gonna be like, I'm going to Travis. Everybody in the building knows this football's going to Travis. There's nothing you can do to stop it.
We got.
I look out for a big game for Juju.
Yeah, I see that happening.
This could be
interesting.
a big game for him.
I don't.
Especially, he's had a pretty decent season. He signed like a 1-year deal, so he could come back next year. But this is a game for him to really make his mark on his team. Because I really think this is the game for him to put on and like carry. Because I don't know if the Eagles slot corner is better than him as a slot receiver. So he really has to take advantage.
You think they might have? You think they might put Slay on him just to be?
I don't think you can. I don't think you can move your outside corner to the slot in the Super Bowl. I think it's a little too late to be like that.
You said they're gonna do what?
I was asking, do you think they might move Slay on to Juju?
They're not.
Just kind of like having travel.
They're not gonna have
Travel
it.
Juju.
If
Travel
he
Juju for what?
starts, if he starts like with the first half and is going crazy, then maybe they move him.
Juju's gonna do what in the first half?
At halftime.
You said if. You didn't say if.
We got about 10
If
left,
he
by
has
the
a
way.
big first half, then maybe they make an halftime adjustment. But I don't think you start anybody.
They're not.
Okay, I got you. Well, I'm gonna try to be quick here. So I definitely get. So this is my pick is obviously going against like the conventional wisdom because it's always been like rush with 4. If you're able to get pressure with 4 and you have a great secondary, you should be able to win. But just seeing what Patrick Mahomes was able to do against Tampa without with his 2 starting left tackles hurt, I just can't bet against Patrick. And having an extra week of rest in order to be able to having an extra week of rest, I think will do wonders. Even though it's a different injury, will do wonders for his ankle the way 1 week off did for Jalen Hurts in his shoulder. I do think this will be a highly contested matchup. I think both teams will score pretty well. I think Jalen Hurts. No, y'all good. I think Hurts will have a nice game. I think the X factor for Kansas City will be Isaiah Pacheco because I think if they're able to run the football effectively, they'll be able to slow down the pass rush a little bit. And if that happens, then Patrick is really going to be able to have time to do things that he will want to do. But my score, I have the Chiefs winning 30-28, and I have Patrick Mahomes winning his second Super Bowl MVP, which would which would make CT correct when he said that he expects Patrick Mahomes to have 4 combined MVPs in the Super Bowls by the time.
Hey man, I just want to say MVS. I know he has no hands, but he may be a weapon.
Got speed, right? That's pretty much it.
So
see, in this game, I'm like,
I'm
I don't know.
trolling.
I mean, he's been a good red zone.
He was
target.
good last week.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's been good in the red zone. So that's been
a couple weeks.
he's better than what Harmon has been since he got drafted. So he's provided that.
I also wonder if they're gonna try to use.
I
I also wonder if they try to use how much they try to use Kadarius Toney when, as Caleb said, they're trying to get the ball out of his hands.
They'll use him.
I've been waiting for that Kadarius Toney breakout game since last year, man.
It's gonna be the Sunday.
I can tell you the script for him if you want to hear it.
What a whole bunch of just weeks.
No, he's gonna get like
positive.
he 1 or 2 good plays, and then you're gonna get a notification from the sideline reporter saying his hamstring is hurting and he's out for the game. I don't know how he does it, but he has some of the worst hamstrings I've ever seen.
You know what's crazy about Kadarius Toney is that like during the off season when he would daily practice, and Giants reporters would say he's faking an injury, but no, he's actually hurt. It's so crazy to see. But I think he's a very talented receiver. I don't know where his reps will come in this game. Kansas City tries to feed him whenever he is playing, and I respect him for that because he's the type of talent that can shift the momentum at any moment.
Absolutely.
But if he's healthy for the whole game, I don't see why he can't have a positive impact.
Yeah.
All right, OG Nate, what's your prediction? Well, let's go OG.
Yeah, I'll go out.
Go Nate, go last.
Yeah, first just LeBron counted. LeBron got 22 left. 8 minutes left in the second quarter.
Yeah, he's been at 22 for a minute. I noticed.
He has been.
If he get 20 by halftime, we good. But
The Thunder on the 10-0 run, and we're down 5.
Hey, 3 money. Shut
Oh,
up.
my fault.
All right, back to what
Down
I
to
was
19.
saying. No, I got luckily invited to the storyboard meeting for the Super Bowl, and I got to take a look at the script. And I think it's going to be Patrick Mahomes MVP.
Okay.
But the Eagles win. But the Chiefs winning.
Jerry West.
Yeah, right. Chiefs winning. I believe just seeing Patrick Mahomes' performance this year, work with a talent that's not at a wide receiver position for him, I think he can make it work. I also think it's just going to follow that narrative. Him kind of replacing Tom Brady as the premier QB talent to the league now.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to also add the score, right?
Sure, if you want to. Yeah.
I'm gonna get the score. I'm gonna keep it low scoring. I'll say 27-19.
Okay.
Chiefs win. All right, Nate Dogg.
That's on you, Nate.
What was there to say? I feel like y'all covered everything. I think JG touched on this already in terms of both teams coming out of the conferences. Both of the two of the best, if not the best, coming out of the conferences, respectively the NFC and the AFC. I think it'll be a high-scoring game, but I got the Eagles winning 31-27. Jalen Hurts MVP. I think he dealt with that injury end of season, and then also going into playoffs, but he looked a little bit like his old self when he started the season in that last game. And I think somebody already mentioned this, but that match, or the importance of the Eagles' pass rush, is one of the best in the league this year. And granted, I think someone also mentioned this too, but the matchup though, when we look at the Chiefs' O-line, they're strong in the interior, but look to see at least the Eagles' edge rushers winning their matchups with Brown and Wiley. So that'll be a thing to watch. But I think also to note,
Boy, no way, boy.
when we talk, what's up?
Okay, man, you been doing your
Okay,
research.
Okay, Dave. Okay, Dave.
Ain't no ball. He know more than me.
He's been doing his homework, man.
I'm talking about.
I told y'all, man. They locked in, man. I told y'all.
So what? So
You ain't say nothing wrong yet, my man. Keep going.
All right. So
I was just can I finish?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna.
I just got one more point though.
Hold on. LeBron just. That's a travel. They're not gonna call that. He just.
They're not gonna call that tonight.
No.
Go ahead, Nate.
This is night. I was just saying one last point though. I know the Eagles pass rush is a point of contention, but Mahomes at least one of his defining traits is his creativity, and like even though that'll be a concern, he's only been sacked on roughly 4% of his pass plays this season. So I think that'll be a thing to watch. I know Brian touched on it too. He just has that ability to create something out of nothing. I think it'll be a good game, but that being said, despite that point of contention, I think the Eagles just don't have really that many holes in their offense, and I think they'll get it done.
All right. Who's your MVP?
That's it, Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
What's the score?
Yeah, give me a Hurts.
31-27. I think it'll be high scoring, but I don't think it'll be like a necessarily blowout or a large point difference. I think it'll be close.
Okay. Final point that I was gonna make because I almost forgot. This is a game where KC's gonna have to start out fast.
Wait, on camera?
That boy not working.
You turned
That man,
up.
he's ODB. He's the ODB of the group for a reason. I told y'all.
Did you just pour a drink out?
He
Yeah, he did. He poured a lot too.
He sure did.
No, but like I was gonna say.
2 shots of vodka.
No, but like I was gonna say, I don't think this is the Super Bowl where the Chiefs can afford to ball down by double digits, because Kyle Shanahan is not calling plays for the Philadelphia Eagles. So if the Eagles are winning and they're up by double digits, I think they will stick, and I believe they will stick with the run game because the power run game has been a big thing, especially with Jalen Hurts this year. So the Chiefs have to start out fast, and they have to make sure they keep it within a one-score game, because if it's double digits at any point in the game, even though it's Patrick Mahomes, and even though I know how great he is and what he can do, I just don't know if they can come back from down double digits at any point against the Eagles, because the Eagles will stick with the run, unlike what San Francisco did when Casey came back.
I'm with you though. I agree with you because I know in past Pat Mahomes' last Super Bowl run, they was down to the Texans. Who they playing in the AFC Championship that year?
Titans.
They was down both games. They was down 24 to Houston. But think about both those teams, except for Titans inconsistent in my opinion with the run game. But with the Texans, they didn't have much run game at the time. And I think Eagles are just if they get to a big lead early. I think that I know it's obvious that they got to go out and just get out there early, lead early. But like I don't see Pat Mahomes coming back from that person.
Yeah,
it's a possibility always, but at the same time, like the Eagles, their run game too good, and they had too many threats. It's a team that Pat Mahomes was never faced before with this type of dual threat quarterback at the same time. This dynamic offense like this.
Yeah, as crazy as it sounds, even though like of course Steve Spagnuolo is a great defensive coordinator, this Eagles team feels like almost. This isn't a great comparison, but almost like the 2014 Cowboys, where like you had that great run game. And it was a situation where defenses were basically playing straight man and stacking the box. And you had your receivers out single wide and guys like Dez and Terrence Williams 8. So in this situation, I think that, again, if they're up by double digits, that gives Philly the chance to pick their poison, whether it's like, okay, we're going to run with Sanders, Gainwell. Boston Scott probably gets a touch or two. in Hurts, or we can throw it to AJ Brown on this side. We can throw it to Devontae Smith. We got Dallas Goedert in the middle. So, as Nate said, with all the different weapons, the Eagles have, the Chiefs have to start out fast. They have to put Philly on their heels because if they do not, I think it's really difficult.
Go ahead, CT. My bad. Two minutes, by the way.
This almost feels like a game where the Chiefs almost have to get the ball first.
Exactly.
And do something with it. Because if the Eagles get the ball first, score a touchdown, and the Chiefs get the ball but don't do anything, the Eagles will start to chew that clock away, and then it gets a little crazy. I don't think
exactly.
This is a game where the Chiefs want to get down, and I don't think Patrick Mahomes has pulled crazy comebacks before, but I don't think this is the type of game where you want to be put in a position where you're down 10, 14 in the third quarter, and you're forced to try to make a comeback. But I'm also interested to see how much the Chiefs weigh their pass rush versus trying to show Jalen Hurts some different looks. The Eagles have been faced a lot of the season with teams running man simply because a lot of people don't run zone with a spy because you sacrifice pass rush when you do that. Yeah. But if you can get pressure before in man coverage, then you probably don't have to do this. But the Eagles' O-line is so good that you almost have to send an extra person to get some pressure on the quarterback. And even if you do, if he gets out that pocket, he's gone because the spy is likely gone too. So I'm interested to see maybe the Chiefs throw some zone looks at him that he hasn't really seen as much this year. And in doing that, you may have to sacrifice some pass rush because instead of rushing 40, you may have to rush 3 and put a spy out there. So everybody's back into the quarterback. But I also want to mention how I was watching this TikTok. I forgot who the creator was. I can't give a shout out to that.
30 seconds.
But this is a matchup of like 2 firsts that will be over after this season ends. And so if Mahomes or Hurts wins. If Hurts wins, he's the first truly mobile quarterback to win that Super Bowl. Yeah. And that's been a point of debate for many mobile quarterbacks that they can't get the job done at the biggest stage. So if Hurts is able to do that for all the mobile quarterbacks in the league, it changes that whole perception. But for Mahomes, the next thing is none of the top 5 highest paid quarterbacks at that time has ever won the Super Bowl. Because it's viewed as so difficult to build a roster around a team that has a quarterback making that much money. And Mahomes is the 5th highest paid quarterback, I believe. So if they're able to win that Super Bowl with him, then it's if you can pay the quarterback and win if you build the roster the right way. So if I had to root for one of those, I'd root for Hurts, but I just can't because I'm a Commanders fan.
I was just about to say that.
Thank you, CT. Thank you, CT.
And I'm also, Mahomes is my guy.
You gonna be pulling up with the jersey on Sunday?
Oh yeah, I got the jersey ready to wear.
Got a hand up.
The jersey is ready.
Who are we?
The Commanders.
The Commanders.
We're gonna do that till September.
No, I'm with you though, CT, because I rooted against. As crazy as it sounded, I rooted against the Eagles when they played the Patriots. So I have to be consistent and root against the Eagles again.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's crazy. Let's move on.
But that's not why I picked the Chiefs. I'm just saying that's just how it was.
You was rooting for the
why did you root for the Patriots?
That's how crazy. I know it sounds crazy.
No, I get it though, because that's a division rival. Damn.
Exactly. That's how crazy it was.
Shit,
I had Washington fans.
I was rooting for Brady too.
But I had Washington fans looking at me crazy.
I'm not surprised.
I'm a Giants fan. But I had Washington Commander fans looking at me crazy because I was rooting for the Patriots. But that's how bad it was.
As they should.
Fuck the Eagles, fuck Philadelphia, fuck the CLL, fuck the Knicks. I ain't playing.
I'm just saying, fuck you.
What they say? What Riley say? For the blue man back you came in.
Oh,
Fuck your young mouth, all that. No,
say, man. Anybody got anything else to say though about the Super Bowl Sunday?
Nah, I'm good. I think we can move on to Kai.
We can do this episode. So somebody wrap it up.
All right, cool. Yeah, that's it for us on the Super Bowl prediction. Y'all stay tuned. We probably will have a Super Bowl watch party maybe.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. We'll definitely have a conversation.
Yeah, if we don't see y'all then, just watch out for the next play. What was that?
All right, man.
Pull a drink up. Have a good night. Bye.